Hey everyone, it's Kim. Today I wanted to talk about a certain aspect of what I've been going through. So, I'm on my period, right? And I completely forgot I was on my period. I went out, nothing to protect me, nothing at all. And then I got home and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm on my period." So I put some protection in place. And that's an aspect of my life that happens often. I'll be 100% sure that I left my phone next to me and I look and it's not there. And then it freaks me out because I'm like, I just put it there. I just put my phone next to me. How is it not next to me? And then, like, I'm all over my place trying to figure out where I put my phone. Those are examples of what's going on in my life, like my period that I forgot. Um, I forgot. Sometimes I used to come back home just to make sure I locked my door because I wasn't 100% sure I had locked my door. At the time, I was with someone and I would keep telling them, "Did we lock the door?" And they were like, "Yes." And I was like, "I'm not sure. Let's go check." And they were like, "No, no, 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 no. We locked the door. We don't need to go back and lock it again." Like, that's the type of things that has been happening in our life. Where we misplace things, we don't know where we are, we don't understand how we got to places. Um, Now, like, because now we have a certain communication, we're able to like tell each other, "Oh, like we went there for that." But for a long time, we were like, "What is going on?" Um, so that's part of our life that we've been experiencing. And it's not just that we misplace things all the time. And right now it's messy, which like it's a bit normal that we misplace things. And when it's not messy and we're still misplacing things, that's when our brain is like, "What?" And for a long time, we thought that someone else was moving something inside our apartment. We thought someone else was doing it until we started isolating by ourselves and realized no, things get misplaced by our own self. And it took a while to understand that. Now, I know that the person I thought was doing it does things like that to other people because they've told me. So that's why we thought they might be doing it to us, which is a possibility. I can't tell you because there's also my purse that misplaced things all around. So I couldn't tell you. I just know that this person had in the past told me that they do some gaslighting things like that to other people. And they have told me like in my face. So that's how I know that they were doing that. And which is why I thought they were doing that at the time, which apparently well, we as a group inside our brain, I've been doing that too. So it's been very confusing for us. And other events that happen is that we'll go to friends and then we'll be talking about things and then they change the subject and then oop, I zone out. And oop, oh, now I understand what they're talking about. Before I zoned out, before I went to the place in my brain where they understand. Example, like I have friends that like rap and they also like video games. That's an example. So I will go to a friend that likes rap. And so I go in the part of myself that likes rap, but then that friend starts talking about video games. So then my brain will start zoning out and zoning back in, but in the parts of my brain that understands video games and computer and computer tech and computer science and computer building. Like, that's what ends up happening. Or if I go with a friend that understands psychology, well, the parts of myself that understand psychology, who has studied it for years, trying to figure out what was going on with our brain, that's the part that will come on because, oh, that's our friend. Or if we see a social worker or a psychologist or psychiatrist, those are the part of our brain that will end up coming into the front because they understand that, and they know that the professional understand that too, so they want to talk about it with them. Another example is wait, I forgot what I was gonna say. I really forgot what I was gonna say. Oh well. Next thing. Like, we have part of ourselves that really enjoy doing craft and arts, and while other parts love sewing and fashion, and while other parts just like cartoons and fun little toys like little figurines and stuffed animals. That's the thing that happens in our brain. Now, we didn't always know that. Like, we thought that the voices in our brain were just like either coming from outside, which we would still hear them inside of our brain, so like as if people were talking to us from the outside, or we thought they were imaginary friends because that's what we were told as children. Oh, that's your imaginary friends. But when at 12 your friends are laughing at you because you still have imaginary friends, and like, then you're not like, oh, that's my imaginary friends, because at this point you're like, I shouldn't be having imaginary friends. My friends don't have imaginary friends anymore. And that was hard for us to understand because we were like, how come we still have imaginary friends? And like, I don't know if I've said this on another episode before, although at 21 years old, that's the first thing we told a social worker, is that we have voices in our head that tells us to do things and they take over the body. But that's not how we said it. We said it that we can't control it. We feel like we have to do it. Now, that's how it felt. It's like as if it was controlling our body, but basically it was different parts of our brain living life in their own way. And with all the situations we went through, all the people that we had around that were different, that we had to adapt to, that were either abusive or bringing in some dangerous things into our life, that's a bit how everything went on. And we didn't know that was going on. And with all the people always telling us, oh, you have a very good memory, it was hard because we did have a good memory, but our memory was in gap and we forgot a lot, which is why we wrote down on paper what we wanted to say to our social workers so that we could bring it to our social worker, because we knew that we forgot a lot of things. But once the memory was triggered from reading it, then we could tell her everything. So that's why we had notes at the time. And at the time, we didn't even know that was going on in our brain. Even though there's a person that said that they told that we were told that we didn't have that, which in no way do we remember that. In no way do I remember that, or any other part. So that is a very big sign of dissociative amnesia. but I don't want to use the big words yet. I know all the big words, I just don't want to use them yet because I'm not ready to. Although I'm slowly getting the need to do it. And we're still working on trying to figure it out and figure ourselves out and everything like that. So, like, we're trying to keep it to a minimum. Although we do want to talk about what has happened in our lives. So, this was about what we wanted to talk about today. Thank you for listening, and we love you, and talk to you later.